Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you very much for joining me here. Happy Monday to you. I hope you're having an amazing day. Beautiful Monday, I should say, to you and your family. We're looking pretty good here for Bitcoin. Obviously, it's easy to be excited about this because a green day that we haven't seen in quite some time is always nice. And of course, this could very well change, but we're going to talk about, what needs to happen for confirmation, etc. Make sure you understand best practice and big picture. And if you are new to the channel, I am not a financial advisor. I really just love teaching people how to trade, and I truly hope you can learn something here today. If you want to become a better trader, CryptoCache.tech is a site. Link in the description below. I have a trading community, academy, and signal group where we basically teach you how to trade, help you understand how to structure your trades by sharing mine with you, but more important, an amazing community at your back helping you out, and just not feeling alone in this journey. So thanks again to all my current community members. You mean the world to me. Greatly appreciate you. Take a look here at Bitcoin. So one-day chart looks pretty good. We're not out of the clear yet, of course. You've probably heard me say this multiple times, of course, but generally speaking, just because we're having a good day today doesn't mean we want to celebrate prematurely. But this is very nice to see this change of pace, and it's nice to see it on a Monday for a change. And in fact, this actually started late last night. As soon as the Eastern markets opened, right around 5 p.m. Pacific, we saw a shift in momentum. So all good stuff there in that sense. Let's go ahead and work our way down and kind of just speak about the obvious and then go from there. So simply put, the monthly, still not looking great, but it's definitely looking a little bit better. If we can close this in basically it's considered a dragonfly doji for the monthly, then we'll be looking pretty good. Obviously, we're 6 days into 30-day or 30, what is it, May 31st? Yeah, or June. So we got 30 days this month, right? So we're 6 out of 30, and ultimately this is a little premature, but just say hypothetically the month closes like that, that could be a sign of a reversal. All right, so that being said, underneath the 20 and above the 50-day simple moving average, that's really just telling us here that with Bitcoin, we are in a position to possibly still see the 50-day SMA tested. So once again, it's trending right around 21,500. That could very well be the lowest point which we see. In its history, Bitcoin has tested the 50-day SMA, dropped below 50 on the RSI as we see here so far, and did that for about 6 months. Okay, so overall, from bottom to top, where it took the price 6 months to get back up above the 20-day SMA. So hypothetically, 6 months from now, we could be right here at this point, right around 44 to 48,000. Again, there's no guarantee on that, because just because that happened in the history doesn't mean it's going to repeat itself, but oftentimes history does that, right? There's a cyclical pattern, and Bitcoin is exuding that every 3.5 to 4 years. All right, just something to be mindful of. On the weekly, not much to really note here, except that we're under the 20 and over the 200. The 200 is basically that similar synonymous type of movement as the 50 on the monthly. You do the math, it's almost the exact same. So taking a look here at this, we're looking at 22,400 as the lowest point, which we'll see there. So again, a range of 21.5 to 22.5 is possible, at least as far as a down point. Now, take a look at this here so far. We've got 2 green weeks trending for the moment. Keep in mind this week hasn't closed yet, but generally speaking, this is supposed to signal more downside when you see a gravestone pattern or a gravestone candle. So again, keep in mind, this is premature for the moment. Whales will take their profits. We don't have confirmation just yet, so let's not, again, celebrate prematurely. So take a look at the daily, just to kind of throw it out there. This is the first green day we've had in a little while. It's nice to actually have this. We had this last Monday as well, except last Monday was a holiday, kind of weird, followed by a doji candle, and then, of course, a reversal. So are we going to see the same thing again? There's a good possibility of it. I would be prepared and ready for it. Again, typically this happens on Fridays, not Wednesdays like we saw recently. But if you see, Friday was a red day as well. So generally speaking, on average, most Fridays are red. That being said, moving forward, if this were to maintain itself, you could expect some profits to be taken moving forward. The thing I'm happy about here is that we're still exuding higher lows and tentatively higher highs. Now, higher highs haven't happened yet. Basically what this means is when we have higher lows, it creates like an ascending type of pattern that it will inevitably, in most cases, break to the upside. Because what you're doing is you're retesting a resistance level that's already been tested before. You're establishing higher lows, implying that the bulls have more pressure than the bears. And of course, at this point, if we can close above 31,800, we'll be in pretty good shape. And as you can see, the price pretty much rejected exactly at that point. Plus or minus a few dollars, of course, but we're looking at really, really close to 31,800 as a strong resistance for the moment. Another thing to note as well is the 50-day SMA is working its way down concurrent with this descending type of pattern that we still have. So that does imply that with this being such a larger time frame and a longer movement, that's really telling us the overall sentiment is on the macro is bearish, but the short-term sentiment within the last week's worth of trading is bullish. Okay, so again, it kind of leads to the whole conclusion that we're probably going to see a little bit of a rally before the next decrease. So just be mindful that we could very well see the price come down from here. That's why it's important to look at the big picture, because the overall sentiment again is down. But the most recent sentiment, the happy-go-lucky times right now that we're having in the last week, again better than the previous, is showing bullish qualities, and the bears are effectively hanging out on the sides, waiting to take their profits. Again, that will happen. It's just a matter of time. Taking a look at the RSI though, here's something that's potentially important. Again, no guarantees because this candlestick hasn't closed yet. And even if it does close above 31,800, it doesn't imply we're in the clear, but it does help to know that we're above 50 on the RSI, and being back up above 50 is something we haven't seen since early April. Okay, so it's been exactly 2 months since we dropped below 50 on the RSI, and it's held below there as well. So a break above could imply more upside, as we've seen here previously when the price action jumps above 50 on the RSI and stays there. All right, so again, I'm not saying we're going to shoot to 48,000, but we could very well see 33, 35, 37,500 retested. Those are key level resistances that are likely going to be retested here soon and potentially broken. All right. Again, first milestone, 31,800. That is essentially what we need to close above today, tomorrow, soon, to ensure that we are on the right track. All right. So until we get that one-day candlestick close, I would not feel very comfortable about this little increase here today. That being said, we can see it happen majority of within about 1 to 4 hour time frame. So there's a really large candle there, of course, followed by significant volume. We did have one of the lowest volume weekends. I think it was Sunday was the lowest volume we've seen since sometime in 2020. So it was really, really dead. So it explains why the price just shut up, because the bears are really not even considering taking any profits right now, which once again reiterates the fact that they will and likely should take their profits again in the future. Now, how hard will they take it? It's hard to say. Even if the price were to come up here to say, for example, and kind of retest that level and get rejected, as long as the next low isn't lower than the previous low, we should be in good shape. Okay, so pay attention to if there is a correction, how low is it going to go? If our next correction is above 29,500, we're okay. All right, it really just implies that we're not making lower lows, or that's exactly what it would be, because we'd still be continuing to maintain higher lows. Okay, again, higher lows are more important in these transitionary time frames right now than higher highs. Obviously, we want to have a higher high here soon. That would make really a lot of sense and help us tremendously, but it wouldn't be absolutely necessary. We might just have to get a retest here. Sometimes you see these cup and handle patterns form and it breaks out. Right, there's a lot of different schools of thought there, but generally speaking, we're looking pretty good. You could even argue that this is a double bottom. I think it's a bit of a stretch, but yeah, it did test it roughly twice there over the weekend at 29,500. So 29,500 is a tentative support, resistance at 31,800. Let's go and take a look at the 1 hour and kind of just see here. We're probably at an exhaustive state, or at least had hit one recently. So we hit a 9, of course, and 2 9s in a row. So keep in mind, when you see 2 9s in a row, it usually tells us the price is going to relax and calm down and possibly come back down for a higher low. Okay, so not saying that this is just going to shoot straight down, but if it were to come over and down, I wouldn't be super concerned, because it makes sense considering we've hit 2 9s in a row, really just telling us that the last 18 to 24 hours have been strictly bullish, and the bears need to take their profits. That's why everything has an up and a down. It's never a straight line. That's what's going to happen here. That correction, so to speak, needs to occur. How much lower is it going to go? It's hard to say. I don't necessarily think it's going to drop per se, but I do think that we should be prepared for that, because it's at a tentatively exhaustive state. Taking a look at the cloud, though, of course, we've got all green lights here to leave your long position open. Do not close them, of course. But for the moment, until this lagging span intersects with the price action, we should not worry about it at all. In other words, just let it kind of ride, let it coast. We've taken multiple profits here recently with not just Bitcoin, a Bitcoin trade we took 4 days ago, but also an Avalanche trade that took only 8 hours to hit like 40%. So Avalanche has taken off. A lot of other ones are too, but that one had a nice ascending pattern as well. And we're able to identify that. We got a nice signal and it worked out very well. But generally speaking, we're going to leave our position open right now because we have a trailing stop loss that adjusts as we move up through targets. So once we hit our second profit target, it adjusts to our break-even point. So as long as we don't come down below 31,000, or sorry, yeah, basically 30,900, we'll continue to leave that position open and effectively be able to make, more profit. So keep your position open, your longs open for the moment, even though, yes, we're tentatively rejecting off that and we have this slightly exhaustive state. We're not in dire straits by any means, and ultimately we should see the price come over this way and likely bounce off the cloud. That's a pretty common continuation pattern in these situations. Okay, again, be prepared for anything, but we want to celebrate the small stuff, and of course, looking good here in that regard. But I would say big picture, we are looking at preferably we want to see a one-day candlestick close today over 31,800. That to me would be awesome. Preferably a really clean close above, just say 32,000 or higher would be even better. That way we're not just kind of rejecting out and with the potential of another doji candle. Okay, so let's pay attention to how this candlestick closes, kind of go from there. Tomorrow we'll reevaluate and kind of build a game plan and kind of see if it's if it's going to continue, if it's getting rejected, what the case is. But again, higher lows is the most important thing we want to take away here from Bitcoin for the moment. The micro is looking very good. At least the last week of trading is looking very good here in the sense, looking like it wants to break out. That's essentially what it's telling us. So, all right, so I hope you did learn something here today. Of course, comment below if you would like to, become a better trader, or obviously CryptoCache.tech as a site where you can register. I do offer military discounts and third world country discounts, so feel free to message me with only my contact information down below. I'll never WhatsApp you or any of this other garbage you see down below with the in the comments. I try to control it the best I can, but unfortunately they're going to continue to spam you. So I'll never reach out to you directly, but I will respond if you reach out to me. Okay. I look forward to getting to know you better. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks so much for your time. We'll see you in the next one.